Patrick, and this is unprofessional sexual therapist Brian Fiore. Together we're just got played, and tonight we have a special treat for you. We're playing a game called Get Laid. But before that, Brian is going to tell us the 4 most successful ways to congregate sexual activity with someone that you barely know. Brian, tell us all about congregating sexual activity with someone you barely know.
Okay, so the first of the
Yikes.
I told you, those are definitely the 4 best ways that are guaranteed to get you the most intimacy with your partner or partners.
Yeah, that last one I wouldn't try. I'm not that courageous. A stuffed water buffalo?
You'd be surprised.
I am surprised, shocked and chagrined. But now that we've gone through that, and thank you very much, I'm sure our viewers
Make sure your health insurance is up to date.
Yeah, and you've had all your shots, apparently. Please tell us about the game Get Laid.
Sure. Get Laid is a 3 to 8 player tactical strategy card game in which each of the players is representative of someone who's desperately seeking intimacy. And what they're doing thematically is they're cruising the bar scene pretty much, and they are playing alcohol cards from their hand, which then enables whoever's targeted with the alcohol to then put a character card into play, which could be male or female. And then once the character card is in play, the next thing you have to do is put a location card on that play. That opens up the event, if you will, for the bang to happen. Now, each of these cards, as these cards are being played, has a certain number of points on them, which represents the quality of the experience numerically. Once the location's played, then other players can play assist cards in there, which will get them extra points for assisting and allowing the copulation to take place. They could play attack cards, which essentially try to prevent the copulation from taking place, and which then allows them to take their turn and get more of their cards in play and get more points in their manner, stuff like that. The game continues on until one of the players has 5 complete bangs, and then at that point the game stops and each player just tallies up the total number of points that they have in their set of bangs. So I think we pretty much covered all the different types of cards and everything. Patrick, what would you say is your favorite thing that you liked about Get Laid?
Well, there's kind of an aspect to it where you're playing these cards and locations with people, and they kind of almost tell a cute little story, like a bizarre, strange, cute little story where you're having sex with this unusual character in an unusual place. That's kind of funny. It's kind of fun. So that's going to be, the storytelling aspect is going to be what I say is the thing I like the best about it. And what's the thing that you like the best about it?
The thing I like best about Get Laid is it's sort of educational, in a sense, in that it kind of lays out that there is a process to intimacy and copulation. You can't just go at it a lot of times. Sometimes alcohol is involved to get people to, be a little more forthcoming or unconscious. No.
And you have to lay down a series of a foundation and a level of trust with new people to be able to reach that level of intimacy, which is very important in today's society.
Exactly. So sometimes alcohol is involved, and then you got to find a good location, like a forest or a back alley. And again, that kind of brings in that storytelling element or whatever. But getting back to the process element, you have social glibness or lubricant, which kind of gets things moving. You have to have a setting for it to happen. You also have to have the characters, right? So the character cards, and then
and trust, mutual confidence,
and then there's always things that sometimes seem to get in the way. Those are representative of the attacks or the assists. Sometimes they're boons, and anyways. Patrick, what would you say is the thing that you like least about...
There are parts of this game that are offensive, and I think I have thick skin. We've played some terribly offensive games. We played Baby Jesus, I've played Cards Against Humanity several times. I like to think I have a thick skin, and there are a couple cards that made me go, oh, I wish they didn't have this card in this game. The mechanics of it aren't bad. I mean, they're really not. And it's not super offensive, but you just dig out one or two of those cards, and you're like, holy crap. They're going to get a lot of crap about that. And we did. Our peers told us not to do this video. But everyone has the right, to choose what they want to do, and some people may really enjoy this. They may enjoy this kind of humor. They may enjoy this kind of lifestyle. But that's the thing I would have to pick out, is that I think it went too far and made some possibly bad social choices.
Okay. Definitely not a politically correct game.
No, you're right.
And it is crude, but they do market it, to people who are 18 and up. So.
And 18, you should be able to handle this kind of humor. Somebody somewhere in the world likes this stuff, and somebody somewhere in the world is going to say it too eventually. So, if there's one thing that you didn't like, what would it be?
The thing that I didn't like about it is when you're setting up the bangs, there's a process that has to take place, which I mentioned before. But one integral part of the process, the location cards, it's a bit frustrating, and I think they adequately made it the blue, color-coded the locations blue for frustration sometimes. But it seemed like I could never get the location cards when I needed them in order for my bangs to happen. So just that sequence, sometimes there was a couple of different things that you had to have in order for it to happen, and it just seemed like, I don't know.
It's funny because in life, I always had a location, but I never had a partner. But that's a good point. That it's a little frustrating. It seems like there should be maybe more location cards, possibly.
I think so. Yeah. Or you might start to go blind.
Sure.
But,
well, I do wear contacts.
Anyways, Get Laid, I believe, is coming to Kickstarter very soon.
It's on right now, actually.
Oh, is it? So jump over there and get your copy.
I'm Patrick. This is Brian. Together, we got late. No, we didn't get late. That's not. That didn't come out right. That's not what I meant.
There was.
Well, we played the game, but we didn't get.
I nailed you with the menage a trois. So.
You did, and you stole my.
In a dark alley with the hippie and the cougar.
Rare.
Colonel Mustard with the.
With a candlestick.
With the candle.
What kind of production is this?